But for people who are considering putting together a DVD project, I guess what I would want to say to you is it's one of those things where you really have to be willing to spend some money to invest in something. The audio recording is so critical. That is a component that people, and again, I learned this the hard way, that people often don't necessarily put that much into, but you have to have quality audio to marry to your video in order to make it a successful project. If you're watching a DVD and the audio is just not good sound, you're not mic'd well, the audience is not mic'd, then it can just, the whole thing can end up just looking like a really bad, cheesy, unprofessional project. So
you've seen mine.
Actually, no, I haven't.
You don't want to.
But, well, you know what I'm talking about.
I can relate 100% to what you just said, because we did 2 shows, but the afternoon show, the theater advertised it as a kids show. It's like, I'm a corporate adult, and so it wasn't my crowd to begin with, but we got a lot of experience out of that one. And didn't use any of the footage from it, but the evening show thankfully rocked. But the hard part was getting the audio, because we had mics trained, we had mics trained on the audience. We also had 2 cameras on either side of the stage that were just trained on the audience, so we could get those audience reactions. And the big thing I learned from that was I should have had a camera behind me so that it would have caught me and the audience, because some people have seen clips of my audience shots and they go, okay, where'd you buy those? It's like, no. So
Good grief.
Yeah, I can relate to that. But 20,000, man, that is incredible. That is incredible. You do these as back of room sales? And
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I have not marketed them really or sold them in stores. Pursued that avenue. It was mostly back of room sales. I'll tell you what really helped was getting booked with some of these larger Christian acts. The Southern Gospel community have folks like the Gaithers, the Gaither homecoming phenomenon, where it's a very large audience of people who love to go to these Gaither events. And these events will draw 10, 15,000 people. And so I had the wonderful privilege of being invited by Bill Gaither to join them on stage and just to do some short little snippets on stage, just to provide for their event a little bit of fun and levity. And so what that did for me was that it was just enough that people would see that, and then they would come to my table in the back, and they'd say, "Oh, I loved what you did. So do you do more?" And I'd say, "Oh, yeah, I've got a whole show here, and I want to buy that." And so people would come up and buy the DVD that way. So I had some great things that happened to me that helped to propel the sale of those DVDs over the years.